I'm Cy, the IT guy Williams of TeamLogic IT of Orlando. I'm here to talk to you today about ADD with Dr. Dwight Franklin of the Franklin Family Wellness Institute. Thanks for coming, Dr. Dwight. Can you tell us about ADD and nutrition?
Yes, absolutely. My name is Dwight Franklin. I am a doctor of Oriental Medicine, and I am the owner of Franklin Family Wellness Institute, where we specialize in helping kids with hyperactivity, impulsivity, focus issues, different mental and emotional disorders through the means of nutrition and supplementation.
So are there different types of ADD?
Absolutely, Cy. There are at least 7 different types of ADD out there. Dr. Daniel Amen, through his SPECT imaging, has found that there are at least 7 different types, and they're not all the same and they can't be worked with the same. Some of them may be like the type that you would typically think of with ADD, where the kid is hyperactive, impulsive, can't focus well, but there's other types as well, where maybe the kid doesn't really have that hyperactive component. They are simply not able to focus well. So you can't treat these kids the same across the board. There needs to be different treatment processes with each.
But how do you know if a kid actually has ADD?
Well, it's number one, I can't diagnose the ADD, but you can imagine, as a doctor of Oriental Medicine, I'm not the first person that they call when their kid gets diagnosed, okay? So they've been through many different routes before, and they're looking for something different. So how do I know a kid has ADD? Number one, they've been diagnosed, but also I can look at the symptoms. I can look at the symptoms of the kid is having a lot of trouble focusing in school. He's having a lot of trouble with his behavior.
Now, I know you say he. Is this more of a male thing or female?
It is more prevalent in males, but it doesn't have to be. Females can have this as well.
So we're seeing more ADD cases nowadays, or is it just being diagnosed more?
We're definitely seeing more today, and there are many reasons for that. Our diets are simply not as healthy as what they once was. You know, growing up in Kentucky, say, I didn't actually eat very healthy when I was growing up in Kentucky. My parents didn't understand these things, but we cooked at home. Right. We cooked at home. We cooked homemade food. Now kids are going through drive-thrus. They have video games that are really intense. You know, Si, if you save the world in a video game, would you be able to go directly from that to doing your homework, your math homework? No, the brain is not set up that way. It cannot do it.
I had trouble with math homework without video games.
Yeah, but some of us have different strengths and weaknesses. But what I'm saying is that with these kids, we are putting so many roadblocks right in front of them and asking them to do the same things as what we were asked to do when we were kids, and it's too many roadblocks.
Right, so we got video games, we got diet, we got all these things that kind of conspire to cause these problems with these kids. So how are you actually working with these kids?
Well, what I do, as I said before, I work with their nutrition, I work with their supplementation, and I work with their behaviors. So nutritionally wise, we're going to work on changing that kid's diet so that they're not going through those drive-thrus like they once were with their parents. But that takes time. You know, it takes time to get them to eating the types of foods that they need to be eating for these types of cases, which means less sugar, less starches, more healthy proteins, healthy fats, and green vegetables, because those green vegetables detoxify that liver. And there's so many toxins out there in the world today, and that liver is working overtime. So if they're not eating the types of food that they need to be eating, it really suffers for it. So we'll change their diet, we'll add supplementation such as amino acid therapy. There are amino acids that actually turn into the correct neurotransmitters that these kids are missing. Things like serotonin that makes us happy, GABA that makes us relaxed, and yes, dopamine that makes us focused. So we can help the kids supplement-wise to reach where they need to go.
Great. Can you talk about the results you're seeing?
Oh, absolutely. So, you know, one special case was a child who had been on stimulants before, but what I found by looking at his symptomology and finding out that this kid didn't have any focus issues, this kid was actually hyper-focused. He was over-focused on all the wrong things. Okay, so when you have a kid that's over-focused and maybe they're worried about not having friends at school, or maybe they're worried about things that are going on at home. Well, you don't want to use any kind of supplement or medication that's going to make them even more focused on those things. So what I was able to do was I was able to help him through amino acids through a supplement that boosted his serotonin levels, and he became happier. He was easier to get along with. The mom actually called me up one day and said, "I don't know what you did, but I've got a different child now. He's happy. He's doing great in school now. He's actually wanting to go do school activities and outside curricular activities as well, playing sports. All these things were not happening before." So I got 100 of those stories, but that's some big one right there.
How do people find you?
Well, so they can find me in various places, but number one, just give me a call. Our number is 270-339-3299. You can also find me at my website, www.franklinfamilywellnessinstitute.com. And then on Facebook, Franklin Family Wellness Institute. I've got a lot going on there with various videos and things you guys can look at.